On September 20th, more than 1 million individuals are planning to raid the notorious Area 51 US Air Force facility, believing that with such incredible numbers, not everyone can be stopped, and at least some will gain access to the secretive facility. But what if I told you that we already know how to infiltrate Area 51? And that a group of speedrunners has been practicing and perfecting all the steps needed in gaining access to the legendary Paradise Ranch. In the classic Nintendo 64 video game Perfect Dark, there's a mission taking place at Area 51, which gives you detailed plans on how to infiltrate the base, rescue your gray alien friend, and then escape the area safely. And for the past 20 years, these speedrunners have been pushing each other to master simulated runs of these missions as fast as possible, improving their runs second by second, frame by frame. Understanding these speedruns may be the key to a successful raid on September 20th of this year. Good luck out there, gamers. This is the world record progression of Perfect Dark's Area 51.
Correct, mate.
So here's the context. Perfect Dark is a game with 20 individual levels, which when pieced together tells the convoluted plot of Perfect Dark. Some of these levels are grouped together in missions, and Mission 4 takes us to Area 51, with 3 separate levels as part of the mission: Infiltration, Rescue, and Escape. This video will take you through a brief world record progression on all 3 levels on the hardest difficulty, Perfect Agent. So let's get started with the first one, Infiltration. The Infiltration is the hardest part, gamers, where less than 1% of speedruns complete without dying. So listen up, here's the mission briefing. First, you head towards this area. There are tons of guards and drones around, so be careful. You will need to destroy these 2 robot interceptors, part of Objective 3, as well as press this button to lower the antenna, so that it comes down close enough for you to throw a comms device onto it, Objective 2. Make your way back through this minefield near the entrance to the facility itself. You'll need to find a guard carrying a key card so you can activate this hangar door, which will take a little while to open. Use this time to go into the underground bunker to throw explosives at this computer, shutting down the air intercept radar, Objective 1. You'll also likely be getting harangued by the final robot interceptor, which you need to find and destroy at some point. Now all that remains is entering through the hangar lift, Objective 4, running through the building into this elevator, taking it down 1 floor, and running to the ending, where we'll meet up with our undercover agent, Jonathan, and complete the mission. Alright, so the earliest recorded instance of a successful infiltration was done by Nintendo 64 legend Marshmallow in the year 2000, with a time of 2 minutes 36 seconds. This was a primitive battle for survival and relied a lot on taking your time to neutralize the heavy guard force on base. Over the next few years, Perfect Dark's most brilliant minds would come up with new strategies, including grenade throws and using a rocket launcher to destroy the robot interceptors, plus just generally better gameplay, which resulted in the record being lowered all the way down to 151 in late 2004 by Jugador J3, and then 148 by Your Eliteness, where it would stand for the next 3 years. That is, of course, until Perfect Ace, the most prodigious agent of all time, would come along, tie the 148, and take the record down to 145. In 2009, Japanese agent Takahiro would play and implement even riskier strategies, including this difficult double uncrouch throw to plant the communications device on the antenna, something that the in-game dialogue tells you is impossible.
I can't throw a bug that high.
But of course, speedrunners never listened to in-game dialogue, and Taka took the record all the way down to 142. 3 years later, the community discovered that in the Japanese versions of the game, which for some reason Takahiro had not been using, many shields were left in the game, even on Perfect Agent. Shields which were not present on the English versions of the game. The additional health makes it much easier to survive. Big Boss Man used this advantage to attempt even riskier strategies, destroying the final robot interceptor later on as he's climbing this ladder, and saved enough time to reach 1 minute and 40 seconds. Perfect Ace would match this a year later, and these two would stand alone atop the leaderboards for the following 3 years. However, in July 2016, Jugador J3 would return to the stage and give a new strategy to his longtime friend, Carl Jobst. Further and more difficult grenade throws to destroy the first 2 robot interceptors. Carl would use these to execute this remarkable speedrun, 1 minute and 38 seconds, where it continues to stand today, untied for more than 3 years. Now that you've infiltrated the base gamers, the hardest part is done. But don't let your guard down just yet. This is the part where we have to remain stealthy and keep a cool head, since we have to rescue our grey alien friend while also using this time to check out some vital research. In the cutscene, we meet up with our fellow agent, Jonathan, who tells us that in order to access the research area, we need to carry this box of explosives through the mission to blow through a weak spot in the wall. But right from the year 2000, speedrunners knew there was an easier way. Simply acquire a dragon weapon from a guard, throw it near the weak spot, and shoot at it with another weapon to create an explosion. Now the first order of business is to find a scientist's outfit to wear as a disguise, one of which is randomly located in one of these lockers. That's Objective 3. Then we have to enter this room and hack these computers to unlock another room later on. And in that room, we must destroy these computers to complete Objective 1. Then we head across the entire facility to reach this room, where aliens are being cryogenically kept and studied, so we record this to complete Objective 2. Then we're going to go to this autopsy lab. This dude lets us in because we're in disguise. We pwn this guy to get another keycard, and basically just run to the end. The earliest recording we have of an agent completing this mission is 316 by Paragon in October 2000. However, simple optimization and better gameplay would lead this to going all the way down to 248 by Your Eliteness by the year 2005. Perfect Ace would lower this to 247 in 2007 on a very clean run, where the scientist's lab clothes were in only the second best location, leaving the door slightly open for someone to go lower. But a big breakthrough would come in 2009, when Takahiro would use a very crazy strategy. You see, with some locked doors in Perfect Dark, while you cannot open them yourself, guards can, if the guard thinks you're in the locked room, or the guard is trying to run towards your position. So if you disarm this guard, he starts going all wonky and runs to try to get a better position to challenge you. Sometimes his animations move him forward in such a way that he opens the locked door, which means you can destroy the computers to complete Objective 1 without having to spend time hacking a previous set of computers. This strategy is very tough and annoying to pull off, but it is possible and does save a lot of time, saving enough for Taka to take the record down to 244. A couple months later, Dave True Faith Clemens would use this strategy, and while his tricking the guard into opening the locked door sequence was slower than Taka, a later door which another guard opens would open much more quickly for him, allowing Clemens to lower the record down to 241, where it'd stand untied for more than 4 years. An incredible watershed run that nearly every speedrunner considered too daunting to match. However, he did have a couple second time loss at Objective 4 when he missed eliminating the guy carrying the autopsy lab key, and he had to take a slower path out of this area to avoid taking damage. So lower was known to be possible. In 2013, Perfect Ace would return to the stage, match Clemens' 241, and follow it up with a 238, a 3-second untied, and a truly remarkable speedrun. Ace really just managed a great run without as many mistakes as Clemens had years ago. But then in 2015, Ilu got a complete dream run, the fastest any agent has completed the rescue stage. I'll let him describe it from here.
Wrecked mate from 247. 11-second cut and a 2-second cut from the world record. That was like insane how, like, my health was just insane. I was just strolling through the level, like after, I don't know how, I mean this level is usually like mega troll, but this was like totally quiet, the whole level. It was like so calm, everything. It was like the whole level was just completely cleared from guards. I could just do my business, wander in like an idiot and just get the untied. I can't believe how calm everything was on the level. It's like never like that usually.
Put your hands up and step away from the alien. Don't make me tell you again, Doctor. And turn that laser off.
Alright, so now we've found our grey alien friend. And that's what everyone wanted out of this raid, isn't it? This dude in particular is named Elvis. But our mission's not over yet. Now we have to escape. And this part is the longest mission of any in the game, so buckle up. The Area 51 has very strong defenses and will immediately flood the area with nerve gas, so vacate this room as fast as you can. Then you'll need to drop your alien friend in this secure spot and return to him later. Now you run across the entire facility, avoiding guards along the way, to meet back up with your pal Jonathan, Objective 2, who will help you escape the base. That patch of wall you blew through previously, we can no longer access because they've locked a bunch of doors. But that's okay because our buddy Jonathan's going to blow a new hole in the wall. You'll need to find an alien med pack, Objective 1, at some point along the way to help revive Elvis. Protect Jonathan from incoming guards for about a minute as he plants explosives to blow through the wall, Objective 3, and this puts you right where you left your grey alien friend. Use that alien med pack on him to revive him, Objective 4, and then basically just make your way to the end of the level, agreeing to open the hangar doors for Jonathan to escape on a hoverbike, while you escape in a UFO.
Oh no, we have a problem. It's a single-seater.
Alright, quite the plan there, and the earliest we know of this mission being beaten is 3 minutes 51 seconds by Paragon in January 2001. General optimizations and better speedrunning would bring this mark down to 3:38 by the end of the year, a mark set by Dark Avenger, where it'd stand for a while, and only be tied twice in the following 2 years. However, towards the end of 2003, a new strategy would be developed. You see, our pal Jonathan is a pretty classic NPC who doesn't exactly move as fast as possible. This was pretty tricky and inconsistent back then, but if you could get him to move close to this wall, you could then just push him along the edge all the way down the hallway, which is much faster than letting him move on his own. This saved a bunch of time, but it'd also mean that we'd have to skip picking up the alien med pack on our initial way back, and go retrieve it while Jonathan is destroying the wall, which is slightly riskier. But it's well worth it, as over the next half year, Jugador J3, Your Eliteness, and a couple others would trade world records all the way down to 3:22, a new record that would stand for ages. It'd finally be tied by Taka in 2007, 3 years after initially set, and then by Perfect Ace in early 2008. And that's where a new agent comes in, Red Bull. Even though 3:22 had stood for nearly 4 years now, it was still unoptimized. There's all sorts of finicky stuff going on that was poorly understood, with the AI of both Jonathan and Elvis often causing them to run around in circles or just otherwise be slow. So Red Bull knew if he played the level a ton, Eventually he'd get good luck and could get a few untieds. Between early 2008 and early 2009, he'd play the level for more than 100 hours and get all of 321, 320, 319, and 318. A new mark that would stand untied for 3 more years. Takahiro would return in 2012, his final year of speedrunning, and set a 316, which would be untied for 2.5 more years. Boss would tie this in October 2014, and then lower it another second to 315, with a very clutchly played ending. And this record would stand all the way untied for 4.5 years. Until one of the most elite new agents, Lake Demon, would come along, tie the 315, and lower the record to where it stands today at 314. The fastest anyone has managed to escape from the legendary Area 51 base. So congratulations, you've successfully raided Area 51 and left with a new alien friend. Who knows what awesome adventures you two will get up to, or what higher state of consciousness you'll reach through this intergalactic friendship. I hope you enjoyed learning a little about other successful raids of the area, and that this helps you greatly in your mission to come. Good luck out there, gamers, stay safe, and I hope to hear a full report when you get back. Thanks for watching, stay true, and I'll see you in the next stream or video.
Disclaimer. Please do not actually raid Area 51. This is highly frowned upon and will end poorly. References made to actually doing this in real life and not in a video game were all satire. Thank you.